Hey, how's it going, guys? I figured it's been a while since I've uploaded a tank build video, so I'm going to show you what I'm using currently. Let's see, this is a 2H and a sword and shield build. Alright, and I use 5-piece Beekeeper, and I use 5-piece Green Pact. I make sure that I have one of each here, so that way I can always keep my Green Pack 5-piece active at all times. And bear that in mind, that means that you don't want to be on your 2H for very long, because you're going to be missing out on the 5-piece for Beekeepers, which is a significant amount of health recovery. But the 2H is primarily for buffing and debuffing. I'll get into that a bit. I use 2-piece Troll King, and let's see, for the traits I use Reinforce typically for the larger pieces, and for the smaller pieces I use Sturdy. When it comes to enchantments, on my sword and shield, or should I say, on my sword, I use the Crusher enchantment to reduce the opponent's spell and physical resistance. And then for my 2H, I actually use a poison. The poison I use causes minor vulnerability. So you're increasing the DPS of your allies with the Crusher enchantment, but at the same time, you're also causing minor vulnerability, which further increases the damage of your allies. So it works out quite well. Alright, and then I use Beekeeper's Jewelry. I mean, it doesn't really matter how you formulate this, as long as you have 5 of each, and preferences for me is Reinforced big pieces, Sturdy small. I have all my armor enchanted with tri-stats, which you make from Hakajos. And Hakajos are a unique essence rune that you get from Imperial City. They cost 5,000 Telvar stones in order to purchase. And this is the only piece I don't have it on, but that's because it has a garbage trait, well fitted. I mean, if I had Sturdy, this would be like ideal for me. Reinforced be second best. Alright, for my jewelry itself, it all has health recovery. For my Mundus Stone, I use a Steed for additional health recovery. Well, let me explain one thing real fast. For the Green Pact, as you see for the 5-piece, you gain a significant amount of health and health recovery whenever you use food. So the food that I personally use is the Jewels of Misrule. You get the Jewels of Misrule from the Jester Festival. So if I were you, I would get a hold of this ASAP. If not, find someone who can make it for you and have them make it in like a large supply. The better version of this recipe is going to be the gold food you get from Hrothgar. It does the exact same thing, except it also gives you health recovery. A little pricey for my taste, but if you want to go all out, that's the route to do it. Now, if you want to reduce your magic and stamina recovery by like 320, you can do so, and you can just go for more max stat if you want. It'll give you probably like 20, I would say 20, maybe 23,000 or 22,000 max stam, and it'll bring your max magicka up to around, I'll probably say 16,000, 17,000, and then it'll probably increase your max health by a good grand or so. Alright, let me go into the skills I use and explain why. So the ultimate I use for my 2H is going to be the Aggressive Warhorn. This is going to be used whenever you're doing well for your you want to help out your DPS, increase your max stats, increase your damage output. I use 4 momentum for the purpose of making sure I'm not snared or rooted. So there's a lot of situations when you're tanking, especially for DSA, you need to run from one place to the next. You need to taunt this guy. You need to revive, when your allies went down. This will make it so you're not being snared or rooted on the way. So it's very useful, and I highly recommend using momentum, period. And the reason being is because you want to have momentum active at all times, so that way once you drop at below 60%, you activate Troll King. On this bar I also have my chains in order to pull enemies towards me. Echoing Vigor. So the reason why I have this ability on here is because I have Troll King. So a lot of Stam DPS will use Resolving Vigor, and if they're using Resolving Vigor, your Echoing Vigor will stack on top of theirs. So if I notice my guys are getting low in health, what I'll do typically is use Igneous Shield in order to get my major mending, and then I'll use Echoing Vigor in order to heal my allies. So not only will it heal them a small amount because you don't really have high like DPS, so therefore you're not gonna have high healing, but you're gonna heal them some with the vigor, but at the same time you're also gonna give them additional 1500 health recovery from Troll King. All right, so let me continue down the line. I use Carve here for the purpose of getting minor heroism. So this helps your ultimate generation. Same time, does a little DPS, very minuscule though, it's not a big deal. Enter Fire. I use this in order to taunt enemies that are like really far away. That they seem to be going after my my ally, but I need to remain in my position. So rather than have to run to that guy and then taunt them, I use this in order to redirect your aggro towards me. I don't morph it. You really don't have to. If you want to, that's at your discretion, but none of the morphs seem appealing to me, so I didn't waste a skill point. Alright, and then for the Sword and Shield, Pierce Armor, for obvious reasons, you want to reduce the resistance for and help out both your magicka and stamina characters. Igneous Shield, this is going to be your means of reacquiring stamina. It's going to place a damage shield on you, so it's going to help your survivability, and it's going to give you major mending. So, very helpful when it comes to resource management and when it comes to survivability. Hard Armor, this is going to give you your major defenses. I use this over Volatile because, you know, what's the point? It's not going to do that much damage, and this at least gives you something when it comes to helping you out with your survivability. Absorb Magic. I want this route over the other morph because if you're fighting a caster, they're your new healer. All they're going to do is use spell projectiles on you. Just keep reapplying Absorb Magic, and you're going to keep your health up the whole time. Green Dragon Blood. I use this in order to increase my health and stamina recovery, and at the same time, it acts as a very nice heal outside of PvP. And due to the changes, it also increases your healing received. So it's a great ability for tanking. I use the Sword and Shield ultimate. The morph I chose, the one that made your Sword and Shield abilities cost nothing. So not only is this great when it comes to survivability, but it's also great when it comes to resource management. Because when you have this shield activated, your stamina is increasing the whole time, and you can just taunt away and not have to worry about it expending any of your stamina. Let's see, so I went through both bars, went through, yeah, my food. So with this set, since it's the green pack, either way, you're going to have great health recovery. Alright, I chose this food because I like to have the extra stam and magic recovery, but you can choose whatever food you want. You can use the Tri-Stat Max food you want if you want more stamina, more magicka. It's at your discretion. There's a lot to play around with. Alright. So let's see. You probably want to see what my stats look like when I'm fully buffed. I'll show you that there. The potion I use is for Tri-Stat, so it's going to restore both my health, stamina, and magicka. Not necessary, it's just what I do. You're not going to notice an increase in your health or stamina recovery because Green Dragon's Blood already provides the bonuses that come with that. But by using a potion restores magicka, you'll also see an increase in your magic recovery. So let me show you what my stats look like when Troll King's procced. And there you go. 6,600 health recovery. If you were using gold food, that'd be around 7,200, I believe. And your magicka and stamina recovery is over 1,000. So there you go. The race that I recommend using for this is Nord. I think they're the best tanking race overall. You can go with Imperial if you want to, but you're going to lose out on a lot of health recovery, which this build relies on quite a bit. My second best choice, in my opinion, for this build would be an Orc. So if you're not going to go with Nord, go with an Orc. Other than that, it's going to be at your discretion what kind of build, what race you want to go with. I mean, if you're limited to 80, I mean, I guess you can go with Khajiit because they have the health recovery, or you can go with the Wood Elf for the extra stamina recovery, but they don't really have good tanking races in my opinion. Alright, so the champion points I use is, I use 15 in Warlord. Stam resource management is not a big deal, you're doing a lot of heavy attacks, so that's why I have a lot more favoritism in Magician, because I'm not using a Resto staff, so therefore I'm not going to be restoring my Magicka constantly. And so I have 39 points here, 15 Warlord. I have 15 Tenacity in order to increase my stamina, restoration when I do heavy attacks. 25 Arcanist, 1 for Mooncath, 27 in order to increase health recovery. I put 78 into Shadowy Ward in order to reduce the cost of blocking. I mean, you can pretty much do whatever you want with these, cater towards your playstyle, it's up to you. I put 30 into Bless, and the reason being is because, I mean, you're not going to do a lot of healing. However, you have Major Mending. You get the extra 2% with Troll King. But if you're going to heal your guys, I mean, this you might as well, try heal them a little extra. So this will help that out. And at the same time, it unlocks this passive. So this will increase your chances of critting whenever you use Green Dragon Blood. And then this constellation, you put 75 in Melee Weapon Expert, 95 into Mighty. The reason why I have at least 75 here is to unlock this passive Butcher. So all you're going to be doing is pretty much like heavy attack, pierce armor. So when your boss is getting low on health, this just adds to DPS some, but it's not super necessary. Same deal with Mighty. Let's see. Over here, I have 89 into Hardy. I got 90 into Elements of Defender, so it's pretty much an even split. 11 to Thick Skin, reduce dot damage, and 10 into Quick Recovery. Alright, well anyways, I hope I covered everything. If I didn't, please, ask me questions in the comments below, and I will answer them to the best of my capabilities. Alright, you guys take care.